My name is Wynter. I'm 24 years old, and this year in the summer of 2021, I am going to be through hiking the Idaho Centennial Trail. Idaho Centennial Trail, also known as the ICT, is about 900 miles. It's a north-south route. It starts at the Nevada-Idaho border in Hot Springs, Idaho, and goes through desert, mountains, wilderness, grasslands, foothills, and ends in Priest Lake, which is near the Idaho-Canadian border. It's like really close. My mom gave me a list of questions to answer for you guys. So one thing she asked me is, what motivated you to do this? So I have always been a lover of the outdoors. I like hiking, I like camping, kayaking, going to the beach, going to the mountains, anything outside. I've always loved. What other long distance hikes are there out there that I can maybe do? And then I, of course, discovered the Appalachian Trail. The Appalachian Trail has been my dream since I was 18, since I graduated high school, and I have done so much research on that trail. It's like I've actually hiked it, except for I haven't done the miles. If you have posted a video about hiking the Appalachian Trail, I have watched it. And I wanted to do it so bad, and every single year I tried to save up money. If I had the money, I didn't have the time, and then if I had the time, I didn't have the money, and I was going to college, and it just never worked out. And so my mom, who is here in Idaho, they live Mountain Home, Idaho is where my parents live, told me about the Idaho Centennial Trail. And she was like, hey, you know, it's not as long as the AT, but it's here, it's local. You should look into it. And so I started to look into it a little bit, but I was really busy. I was living in Dallas at the time. I was like, you know what, I don't really, you know, this isn't really something that I want to look into right now. My priorities were elsewhere. And then a few years go by, and I didn't really think anything of it. And then COVID happened, and like a lot of people, I lost my job. Then I decided that I couldn't afford the place I was living in downtown Dallas, and I was like spiraling because everything was chaotic. I dropped out of school. I was only like one and a half semesters away, like 6 courses away from graduating with my bachelor's, and I was like, I can't do this. Everything is so overwhelming. And so everything came to a halt, and I saw it for a second, and I was like, you know what, I have time, and my parents are allowing me to live at home. What can I do? And so my mom again brought it up. She was like, you know, hey, have you really looked into the ICT? You should. So I decided to really do my research and dig in and get as much information as I could. And because of where I'm at in life right now, I was like, you know what, I really need to challenge myself. I really need to accomplish something, and I want to do something outside, you know, and away from people. I was having major social anxiety, and I was like, you know what, I want to do something not well traveled, something that's close to home, and that I have the support. So my parents said, hey, we're going to support you, you know, we're going to help you plan this out, all this stuff. So I don't really know what's motivating me other than the fact that I don't know, you know, I can do it, and I need something in my life right now to push me and challenge me in every aspect, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything. Kind of to reset after the chaos that has been the past 2 or 3 years of my life, and COVID kind of just was that that last raindrop that just flooded the boat for me. This experience that I have is not a whole lot. I've never thru-hiked before. The most I've done is a 4-day backpacking trip in Prairie Falls in Texas in August, and it was hot as heck. And then I summited Guadalupe Peak, and that's only like an 8,000 foot mountain. It's the tallest mountain in Texas / the only mountain in Texas. And then I've done some hiking in the Grand Canyon. So this is definitely new for me, and definitely going to be a challenge. Never done a river crossing before, never done a creek crossing before, never hiked in the mountains. I've never done a mountain pass before. All this is new. Equipment that I'm using is just anything and everything that I could find for cheap. I decided to go budget. I think overall I spent around $1,200 on all my gear and equipment, and that's including gear that I had previously bought like years ago. So I think that I actually, in the past, couple months finishing out my gear, I only spent about $600. So I just went on Amazon and I bought used stuff, and I went on Facebook forums and bought used stuff. I went on, got sales, and I borrowed stuff from people. And it's definitely not ultralight, but it's what I could afford and it's what I could find, and we'll see how it goes. A question that my mom gave me to ask is, what do I hope to accomplish and gain? I don't know. I think that I really, like I said earlier, I just want to reset. I think that a lot of people right now are in this limbo that is our life right now in America and in the whole world with this pandemic. And I'm just trying to get some, to get out of that, I want to hopefully gain experience so that I can go and do other trails like the AT, the PCT, CDT, Lone Star Trail, Arizona Trail, all those things, and then hopefully be able to go overseas as well, and do some overseas trails, especially in Australia and New Zealand. I also want to just gain knowledge and experience of our environment. Biggest fears and concerns. So honestly, number one, I think as far as fears, actual fears right now, is bears. So I'm going to be in black bear and grizzly bear country, and we are going to be in the wilderness. So these bears are not hunted. These bears don't have people camping all the time. They don't know humans. They're not normal bears that you would get at Yellowstone that are used to people and stuff, So I'm definitely fearful of that. I know what to do. I know how to be smart. I know all the safety procedures and precautions to use, but I'm still afraid of it. But thankfully I'm hiking with my brother, who's 6'4", and really big. He's a football player, so I don't know how much he weighs, but hopefully a bear will be like, oh, there's two of them, and that one guy is really tall and big, so maybe they won't mess with us. The other thing is I am concerned about the isolation of it all. I'm an extrovert at heart, but I've been through a lot over the past couple of years that have kind of made me have that social anxiety. But I am afraid at some point that I'm gonna go crazy. Not really, but just be not in the best headspace, because I'm gonna be out there for so long by myself. So which is another reason why because I originally was gonna go solo and I decided not to. I was like, you know what, I don't think that's good for my mental health. The concern is the river crossings. I've never done one before, and they can be really dangerous, and so that's something I think that by the end of it I'm going to be a pro. No problem. And I know at least one day there's 37 creek crossings, so at the end of that day I'll be an expert. It'll be fine. It's just the anxiety leading up to that. Pretty much it. Again, I don't really have any idea what I'm getting myself into, but I'm excited to go there, and I am grateful that I have this opportunity, and that I can also advocate for this beautiful wilderness that we have here in Idaho, and there are still places untouched by humans, even in the lower 48. So Thank you for watching, and send all positive vibes and ask the universe to have the bears steer clear of me for my anxiety's sake. So I will see you out on the trail.